This is Lipton with the Starfeed of Starfeeder.com, and today, or now, I'm here with Miles Johnson of SC2Armory.com, the StarCraft 2 fan site. And so, Miles, introduce yourself.
As he already said, I'm Miles. I'm the admin of StarCraft 2 Army, which is a fan site and community, and we strive to be one of the larger communities and have the most up-to-date and accurate information related to StarCraft.
Cool. So, how long have you been playing a StarCraft or a StarCraft fan?
Since it came out 10 years ago, when I was about 10 years old, like most other people.
That's cool. Um, so, when did you first have the idea of actually starting your own StarCraft 2 fan site or any fan site, I guess?
Uh, well, the idea, like right when StarCraft announced on the 19th of May, me and a
Mhm.
few friends actually had the idea to do the fan site, but they kind of all wanted to do something else, so I did it all on my own. So
Oh,
it was like a planned project at first, but then I did it solo.
huh. Is there anyone helping you with it right now? Like,
Uh, just the forum moderators, that's about it. But besides that, I do the design and code and everything else.
wow, huh. So, where did you learn all that, or was it just through school, or that's what you're planning on?
Uh, Actually, it was self-taught. I started learning HTML about 6 years ago, and then PHP about three, and then Photoshop in between there. And it all just kind of came in together to where I am now.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best looking sites out there right now with the very in detailed unit uh, descriptions and database. Let's see. What are your future plans for SC2 Armory? Just basically grow the site once
Well,
again.
well, right now I still have a lot of PHP and backend work to do, and I need to reopen the collection, which is like a voting system. I also need to finish the gallery and media and like the screenshots and artwork database. So that should be coming within the next few months. And then I
Oh,
also need to update the gameplay database with new units and information, and also new gameplay tactics like the high mineral fields, the new UI, multiple building selections, and all that. And then after that, we have a few ideas like a monthly podcast and a like sponsored tournaments. And well, that's mostly for when the game comes out. But until
hmm,
then, we have a lot of website related things to finish.
cool. And one thing for the people that don't know, one of the coolest things about the SC2 Armory is their forum store feature, where you can, I guess, when you post and
It,
reply and stuff like that, you get minerals and gas, and you can actually use that to buy StarCraft 2 pets, I guess, to spiff up your profile and stuff like that. and
yeah, the system like came together. Like at first, it didn't do anything, so I had to like hard code it basically all from the ground up and fix everything. But like you
mhm.
said, with every post or reply that you do, you gain X amount of minerals and Vespene, and you could use your resources to purchase profile enhancements like signature and avatar and attachments, polls, and all those fun features. And then you can also buy pets. But right now you're limited to one pet, but in the future you could have multiple types of pets.
Cool, cool. So moving on, you were one of the lucky few that got to go visit BlizzCon and actually play test
Yep.
StarCraft 2 in person. I guess, well, first question is, how long did you play StarCraft 2 while you were at BlizzCon?
Oh, like right when the doors opened, we all ran to the StarCraft 2 like computer setup, and I was really like one of the first 15 people to ever play the game of like the public.
Nice.
And you get like 20-minute sessions to play the game, or until you lose. So we played, I'd say, over 20 sessions a day. So I got enough play time with both Terran and Protoss.
Yeah, nice. So how was their starting screen like when it first comes up? I assume everything still in works, but was it
Actually,
basically?
like the splash screen, they made it so you can't really do anything. You just pick your race because everything's set up like 2 versus 2. So 2 players just pick the race, and then the game starts after that. So there wasn't really a beginning screen to do anything yet.
When the game starts, your SCVs, probes all popping and everything. Is it basically the same feel as StarCraft, just
Oh,
better graphics?
it's exactly like right when it started, you're just like, oh, StarCraft, but even better. But the game, it's a lot more fast-paced. Like you could finish a game in 15 minutes and be fully, not fully teched, but you could get to the last tier. So it depends how you play and who you play against.
Oh, cool. So, what were like the first few strategies you guys started seeing as very viable to use
Well,
this early on?
actually, the first game I played, like right when I started, I wasn't really paying attention. I was just looking at how everything cool was. So I got rushed pretty badly by Marines, and they're pretty deadly. And then while I was defending, they started sending in a ton of Vikings with medics, and that was a deadly combo. Like even my teammate couldn't help me because they just kept dishing out mass Marines, medics, and Vikings, and the
Hmm.
Vikings were just tanking everything like crazy. So that was a pretty good strategy, like right off the bat.
As far as the maps go, did they recreate any old maps, or basically everything kind of just new? And
Um, I think they were all new maps, but we only played 2 or 3 of them. One was Jungle, one was I think Shakuras, and I forget what the other one was. I think it was another jungle, but they were pretty interesting. But they were all new. They weren't like the old Lost Temple and all that.
oh, cool. Looking on your Flickr page, I noticed some screenshots with like massive amount of Colossuses. Were like
Uh,
those your units, or?
yeah, Colossus is actually my new like favorite Protoss unit. So like whenever I played, I'd always get a lot of Colossus. They're they're very very like versatile and strong. So
Hmm.
and then one game we like didn't attack each other to the very end, so we just teched a ton of Colossus, and that's probably what you're seeing. So I had like maxed out food limit with Colossus, and it was like ridiculous.
Hmm. As far once StarCraft 2 comes out, I'm sure it'll be a very big impact on the states and elsewhere besides Korea as a upcoming esport. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm all for StarCraft being an esport. I believe if Blizzard plays their cards right, that it would replace StarCraft Brood War as the main like game in Korea right now. But they
Hmm.
probably still have the old one for all the pros who don't like the new UI and all the automation. But I also think the US should take it on as a new esport because it's
Yeah,
like esports, they're big but they're not huge. So I think they could expand on that, and StarCraft 2 could probably push it further.
yeah. I think if they do something like how Microsoft marketed Halo 3 with a lot of TV,
Yeah,
um,
Halo 3 just pushed Xbox's sales like crazy. So I think StarCraft could do the same for e-gaming.
yeah, definitely. I guess with that, I'll conclude this interview. Again, this was me, Lipton, talking with Miles Johnson of SC2Armory.com. Check it out, one of the best StarCraft 2 fan sites out there.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys later.
Peace.